I'll write an engaging 800-word story for Part 1. The signal in simple English using third-person style with Korean names as requested. A single SOS triggered the wrath of Deathworlders. In the quiet beauty of space, the research ship, Starlight Seeker, floated near an unknown star system. Captain Ha-Jun stood at the viewing window, watching the stars with worried eyes. His thin, blue-skinned crew moved around the ship doing their work. The Alorans were known across the galaxy as peaceful beings from a perfect world with no dangers. "Captain, come quick," called Juri, the lead scientist. Her soft voice shook with excitement as she pointed to her screen. "I found something strange." Ha-Jun walked over, his light steps barely making a sound on the ship's floor. Alorans moved carefully. Their bones broke easily and their skin tore like paper. Their world had never taught them to be strong. "What is it?" he asked, looking at the flashing dots on the screen. "Signs of life from that system," said Juri. "But it can't be right. The planet shows extreme heat, terrible storms, and dangerous radiation levels. Nothing should live there." "A death world," whispered Ha-Jun. "Most space-traveling species came from gentle planets. Death worlds were the stuff of stories. Planets so harsh that any life there would have to be incredibly tough to survive." "Should we look closer?" asked Juri. Ha-Jun thought for a moment. The Alorans were the newest species to join the Galactic Council. This discovery could bring them respect. "Yes, but we'll be careful. Move us closer, but stay alert." The ship glided toward the mysterious system. The crew buzzed with talk about what they might find. Nobody noticed the 3 dark ships following them until alarms started blaring. "Captain!" "3 ships approaching fast," shouted Bei-jin from the tracking station. "They're Vraxian raiders." Fear filled the room. Everyone knew about the Vraxians, tall, scaled hunters who attacked weaker species. The Vraxians believed strength was the only thing that mattered in the universe. "Turn us around," ordered Ha-Jun. "Full speed away from them." But it was too late. A bright flash lit up space as the first shot hit them. The ship shook, and several crew members fell to the floor, their fragile bodies bruising instantly. "Engine damage. We can't outrun them," called Suho from the engine room, his voice tight with pain from a broken arm. Another hit rocked the ship. The lights flickered and died, leaving only red emergency lights. "They're boarding us," said Misuk, the security officer. She held a small stun device, but her hand trembled. Elleran weapons were designed to temporarily disable, not kill. Against Vraxians, they would be useless. Ha-Jun knew his people couldn't fight. He needed to save them another way. He ran to the communication station where Ye-jin was trying to call for help. "Any response?" he asked. "No, Captain. We're too far from any Elleran ships, and the Galactic Council patrol is at least 3 days away," Ye-jin said, her blue face pale with fear. The ship shook again as the Vraxian ships locked onto them. Soon the raiders would break through the doors. "Send a message on all frequencies," ordered Ha-Jun. "Send everything, our location, ship details, and a distress call. Someone might hear us." "But Captain, that includes unregistered frequencies. We could reach unknown species," Ye-jin said nervously. "We have no choice," said Ha-Jun. "Do it now." Ye-jin's fingers flew over the controls, sending universal SOS on all frequencies. The message shot out into space. "This is Elleran research vessel Starlight Seeker. We are under attack by Vraxian raiders. 18 crew members, no weapons. Please help. These are our coordinates." A loud bang came from the main door as the Vraxians started cutting through. "Message sent," said Ye-jin, just as their communication system died from another hit. Ha-Jun gathered his frightened crew. "Stay together. We'll try to talk with them." The door burst open. Tall figures with scaled skin and sharp teeth filled the doorway. Their leader, twice the size of an Elleran, smiled cruelly. "Such fragile things," he said in a rough voice. "Your ship and everything on it now belongs to us." Far away, beyond the known space maps, the Alloran distress call traveled. It passed dead planets and empty space until it reached a system thought to be just a legend. There, orbiting a yellow star, was a blue planet where life had evolved under crushing gravity, deadly radiation, extreme weather, and constant danger. On the edge of the system, a mining ship picked up the signal. Inside, Captain Tae-yeon, a human woman with strong hands and determined eyes, listened to the desperate call. "Plot a course to these coordinates," she told her crew. "Someone needs help." None of the humans hesitated, though they were just miners, not soldiers. On Earth, helping others in danger wasn't special, it was expected. The distress signal had reached the most dangerous species in the galaxy, humans from Earth, the ultimate death world. And they were coming. A single SOS triggered the wrath of Deathworlders. Captain Taeyeon's mining vessel Earth's Fortune pushed through space at top speed. Red warning lights flashed across the control panels. The engines were running far beyond safe limits. "How much longer?" Taeyeon asked, her strong hands gripping the edge of her command chair. "At this speed, 20 minutes to reach the distress signal," answered Jin-ho, the pilot. Sweat ran down his face as he guided the ship. "The engines won't take much more of this." "They'll hold," said Suho, the engineer. He had dark circles under his eyes from working non-stop since they received the SOS. "I've pushed them to 130% capacity. We'll make it." 3 hours earlier, their small mining crew had been collecting rare minerals from an asteroid belt when the desperate call came through. Although Earth Command had ordered them to wait for military backup, Taeyeon couldn't ignore beings in danger. Her crew of 12 agreed without question. "Approaching the coordinates now," Jin-ho said, dropping out of emergency speed. The view outside their windows changed as the ship slowed. Before them floated a sleek silver vessel surrounded by 3 darker, jagged ships. The silver ship looked badly damaged with holes torn in its sides. "Those are Vraxian raider ships," said Minji, the ship's knowledge officer. She studied her screen with worried eyes. "They're known for attacking weaker species, and that silver ship, the design matches nothing in our database." "Scan for life signs," ordered Taeyeon. "I count 18 very weak life signs on the silver ship," said Jiwoo, the medical officer. "Their body readings are strange, like nothing I've ever seen, and about 40 stronger life forms moving between the ships. Those must be the raiders." "They haven't noticed us yet," said Do-hyun, head of security. "Our ship looks like a basic mining vessel. They probably don't see us as a threat." Taeyeon smiled. That was their advantage. Humans had explored space for only 30 years. Most galactic species didn't know about them yet. Those who did often underestimated them. "Here's the plan," she said. "Jin-ho, bring us in like we're just curious miners. Do-hyun, get the team ready. We're going to board and rescue those people." "With what weapons?" asked Do-hyun. "We're miners, not soldiers." With these, Taeyeon picked up a plasma cutter used for slicing through asteroid rock. "And these." She lifted a heavy mining hammer. "Everything is a weapon if you use it right," the crew nodded. Growing up on Earth had made them resourceful. Their home planet's high gravity, varying temperatures, and natural disasters had shaped humans into adaptable survivors. 20 minutes later, 5 humans in mining suits drifted silently toward the damaged ship. They carried mining tools instead of guns. Taeyeon led them with Do-hyun, Jiwoo, and 2 others following close behind. They entered through one of the holes in the ship's side. Inside, the air was breathable but thin. The ship's gravity was set much lower than Earth's, making the humans feel light and strong. "Follow the life signs," Taeyeon whispered. "And stay quiet." They moved through damaged hallways until they heard voices ahead. Peeking around a corner, they saw something that made their blood boil. 10 tall, scaled beings surrounded a group of smaller aliens. The small aliens had blue skin, large eyes, and looked terribly fragile. Many were injured. The tall raiders were pushing them roughly, causing cries of pain. "These weak things aren't even worth selling," said one raider, showing sharp teeth, as he spoke. "Their bones break if you just look at them wrong." "Take what's valuable from the ship, then space them all," ordered another who seemed to be the leader. "The Aloran species is useless to us." That was enough for Taeyeon. She signaled to her team and stepped into view. "Step away from them," she said in a clear voice. The raiders turned, surprised. They looked at the humans in their work suits and laughed. "More aliens," said the leader. "What are you supposed to be?" "We're humans," said Taeyeon. "And we received a distress call." The raiders laughed harder. "Humans? Never heard of you. Go away while you still can, little creatures." The leader reached out to push Taeyeon. It was the worst mistake of his life. Born and raised in Earth's heavy gravity, Taeyeon moved with shocking speed. She caught the raider's arm and used his own momentum to throw him across the room. He slammed into a wall with enough force to dent the metal. The other raiders stared in shock. Then they attacked. But they weren't ready for humans. Do-hyun swung, his mining hammer with earthborn strength, sending 2 raiders flying. Ji-woo dodged clawed attacks with ease and struck back with precise hits to vulnerable points. The blue-skinned aliens watched in amazement as the smaller humans fought with incredible power and speed. In just minutes, the 10 raiders were defeated. "There are more throughout the ship," Taeyeon told her team. "Let's find them." 2 hours later, all the raiders had either fled to their ships or been captured. The blue aliens, who called themselves Elorans, looked at the humans with wonder and fear. "You saved us," said Hajun, the Eloran captain. "But how? You're so strong." Taeyeon smiled. "We come from Earth. Some call it a death world." "Deathworlders are real?" whispered an Eloran scientist named Ju-ri. "We thought you were just stories." "We're very real," said Taeyeon. "And now, the galaxy knows we exist." Outside, the Vraxian ships were retreating at full speed, carrying news that would soon spread throughout the stars. Deathworlders were no longer just a scary story. They were here, and they were far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. Tirisag, a single SOS triggered the wrath of Deathworlders. News traveled fast in space. Within days, stories about humans spread through every corner of the galaxy. Some said they were twice as tall as Vraxians. Others claimed they could bend metal with their bare hands. Most didn't believe humans existed at all. The Aloran ship, Starlight Seeker, limped back to their homeworld with Captain Hajun telling an unbelievable story. He stood before the Eloran High Council, his blue skin still showing bruises from the attack. "These humans saved us without hesitation," Hajun explained to the wide-eyed council members. "They fought the Vraxians with mining tools and won easily." "Impossible," said Elder Q-Wan, the oldest council member. "No species can match Vraxian strength." "I saw it with my own eyes," insisted Hajun. "Humans come from a world with crushing gravity and deadly weather. Their bodies are dense with muscle and their bones are like metal. They call their planet Earth, a death world." In another part of the galaxy, a very different meeting was happening. On the Vraxian home planet, Commander Grek stood before the War Council, his scales darkened with shame. 10 of my best warriors were defeated by 5 small aliens," he reported. "They moved faster than we could see and hit harder than battle robots." The War Council leader slammed his fist on the table. "Unacceptable. Vraxians fear no one. These humans must be taught their place." Back on Earth, human military leaders gathered to discuss the first contact situation. General Hyun-woo, head of Earth's Space Defense Force, reviewed Captain Taeyeon's report with a worried look. "You engaged in combat with an unknown alien species without authorization," he said sternly. Taeyeon stood straight, her face calm. "The Alorans would have died if we waited. The Vraxians were about to space them, throw them out into the vacuum." "Your actions may have started a war," said Hyun-woo. "With respect, sir, the Vraxians started it when they attacked a peaceful research ship," replied Taeyeon. The room fell silent. Finally, Ye-jin, Earth's chief diplomat, spoke up. "Captain Taeyeon did the right thing. The Alorans are now calling humans their saviors. This is our chance to make good allies in space. And what about the Vraxians?" asked Hyun-woo. "They're bullies who only respect strength," said Taeyeon, "and we showed them we're strong." That night, Taeyeon and her crew were celebrated as heroes. Earth had been exploring space for 3 decades, but had kept mostly to themselves. Now, they were thrust into galactic politics. 2 weeks later, the first warning came. A small human outpost on Moonbase 7 went dark. When rescue ships arrived, they found destruction. The only survivor was a young technician named Jun-ho, hiding in an air duct. They came without warning, he told his rescuers, his voice shaking. They said this was a message from the Vraxian Empire to all humans. They said next time they would hit Earth itself. Earth's response was immediate. General Hyunwoo activated the defense fleet. 30 ships built for deep space exploration but equipped with weapons just in case. Captain Tae-yeon was given command of the newest ship, Earth's Fury. Find the Vraxian fleet and show them why. Attacking us was a mistake, ordered General Hyunwoo. The fleet departed Earth amid cheers from millions watching the broadcast. Humans had faced countless disasters on their home planet. Earthquakes, floods, wars, and disease. They had survived it all and grown stronger. Now they would show the galaxy what Deathworlders were capable of. The Vraxian attack force was heading toward Earth when they detected the human fleet approaching. The Vraxian commander laughed. Only 30 ships against his 60? This would be easy. Prepare to show these humans what real warriors can do, he told his fleet. But as the human ships drew closer, something unexpected happened. They accelerated, to speeds the Vraxians thought impossible. Before the Vraxians could react, Earth ships were among them, firing weapons that cut through their shields like they weren't even there. On the bridge of Earth's Fury, Tae-yeon directed the battle with calm precision. Target their engines and weapons. We want to disable, not destroy. The human fleet moved with perfect coordination. Their ships were smaller but faster, their weapons more advanced than anything the Vraxians had seen. In just 40 minutes, half the Vraxian fleet was disabled. The rest were retreating in panic. Shall we pursue? Asked Do-hyun, now Tae-yeon's second in command. No, said Tae-yeon. They've learned their lesson. Let them go tell others what happens when you attack humans. What humans didn't know was that news of the battle was already spreading. Thousands of ships throughout the galaxy had watched the fight through long-range sensors. Species who had suffered under Vraxian raids for generations watched in amazement as the mighty warriors fled from the newcomers. On the Ellerin homeworld, Ha-jun watched the battle footage with a mixture of fear and hope. Humans were indeed as powerful as he had claimed, but would they use that power to help or to conquer? His question was answered the next day when a message arrived from Earth. It was simple and direct. To all peaceful species who have suffered from Vraxian attacks, humans stand ready to help. You are not alone anymore. Across the galaxy, a new age was beginning. The age of the Deathworlders had arrived. A single SOS triggered the wrath of Deathworlders. The great hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with nervous energy. For the first time in 500 years, a new species was being presented for membership. But this was no ordinary species. Yun-ho, the Aloran ambassador, stood before the gathered representatives of 50 different worlds. His blue skin shimmered under the lights as he gestured to the 5 humans standing beside him. Honored members of the council, Yun-ho's soft voice carried through the hall. I present to you representatives from Earth, a planet many believed was just a myth. Whispers spread through the room. Many council members leaned forward to get a better look at the humans. They didn't seem impressive. About average height, no claws, no armor-like skin or extra limbs. Yet these were the beings who had defeated the Vraxian fleet. Diplomat Minji stepped forward as Earth's speaker. The gravity in the council chamber was much lighter than Earth's, making her movements graceful and effortless. We come in peace, she said simply. Earth wishes to join the galactic community as friends and helpers. A tall, thin alien with crystal skin spoke up. How can we trust Deathworlders? Your kind evolved fighting and killing. It's in your nature. Minji smiled patiently. Yes, our world shaped us to be strong, but it also taught us to work together to survive. On Earth, helping others isn't special. It's expected. They saved my people without hesitation, added Yun-ho. The humans risked their lives for strangers. Another council member, a floating ball of gas contained in a special suit, moved forward. The Vraxians have raided my people's colonies for generations. We've lost thousands. Yet in one battle, you drove them away. How? Humans adapt, explained Minji. We learn quickly and work well under pressure. But we don't want to fight. We want to help build a peaceful galaxy. The debate lasted hours. Some council members feared humans would become the new bullies of the galaxy. Others saw them as possible saviors. As the council argued, an urgent message arrived. Vraxian ships were attacking a small colony world at the edge of council space. The council had no military ships close enough to help. Earth can respond, offered Minji immediately. Our ships are fast. The council leader, an ancient being with 6 eyes and wisdom lines etched deep in his face, studied the humans carefully. You would fight for people you've never met? That's what neighbors do, said Minji simply. 3 hours later, 5 human ships arrived at the colony world. The Vraxians had already landed troops and were rounding up the small bird-like natives. When Captain Taeyeon led the first rescue team to the surface, the battle was short but fierce. The colony sent live footage to the Galactic Council, who watched in amazement. Humans moved with incredible speed and strength in the low gravity. They fought with skill, but also with care, protecting the colonists with their own bodies when necessary. When it was over, the Vraxians retreated again, leaving their wounded behind. To everyone's surprise, the humans treated the injured Vraxians with the same care they showed the colonists. Why help them? Asked a confused colony leader. They would have killed us all. Because that's what humans do, answered Taeyeon. We protect those who need protection, all of them. Back at the Galactic Council, the mood had changed. The vote for Earth's membership was unanimous. More importantly, 12 species immediately asked to form an alliance with humans for mutual protection. General Hyunwoo arrived from Earth to sign the first treaties. The once quiet diplomat was now in charge of building what would be called the Shield Alliance. Earth will share its technology and training, he promised the new allies. Together, we'll create a force that makes raiders think twice before attacking anyone. Word of the alliance spread quickly across the galaxy. On 20 different worlds, species who had suffered under Vraxian attacks celebrated the news. For the first time, they had hope. On the Vraxian homeworld, the War Council was not celebrating. Their leader pounded the table in rage. These humans make us look weak. They turn our enemies into allies. This cannot stand. What can we do? Asked a younger council member. Their ships are faster, their weapons better. We still outnumber them 10 to 1. Growled the leader. We will gather every ship, every warrior. We will crush these humans and all who stand with them. And we will do it now, before their alliance grows stronger. The largest Vraxian fleet ever assembled began to gather. 500 warships prepared for what they believed would be a glorious victory. They didn't know that other Deathworld species had been watching events unfold. Planets that had stayed hidden for centuries were now sending messages to Earth. Humans weren't the only strong ones in the galaxy, just the first to step forward. On Earth, General Hyunwoo received reports about the gathering Vraxian fleet. He should have been worried. Instead, he smiled as he read messages from 4 previously unknown species offering to join the fight. Tell our new friends we welcome their help, he told his staff. The Vraxians think they're hunting us. They don't realize they've wandered into a pack of wolves. The final battle was coming. The galaxy would never be the same after it. A single SOS triggered the wrath of Deathworlders, the vast emptiness of space filled with ships. 500 Vraxian warships formed a massive attack force, their dark hulls bristling with weapons. Facing them was a much smaller fleet, only 100 ships from Earth and their new allies. The battle that would decide the fate of the galaxy was about to begin. On the bridge of Earth's Fury, Captain Taeyeon studied the enemy formation. Beside her stood representatives from Earth's new allies, Hajun from the Alorans and 3 beings from other worlds who had recently joined the Shield Alliance. They outnumber us 5 to 1, said Hajun, his blue skin pale with worry. Numbers aren't everything, Taeyeon replied calmly. Quality matters more than quantity. The communication screen lit up, showing the face of the Vraxian war leader. His scaled face twisted in a sneer as he spoke. Surrender now, humans, and we might let your allies live as our servants, he growled. Fight, and we will destroy you all. Taeyeon simply smiled. You haven't learned anything about humans, have you? We don't surrender to bullies. She cut the connection and turned to her crew. All ships, battle formation. Remember the plan. The human fleet suddenly split into smaller groups, each taking position near a strategic point in space. The Vraxians laughed at what seemed like confusion. They're running scared, said a Vraxian commander. Attack! The massive Vraxian fleet surged forward. Their ships fired all weapons, filling space with deadly energy beams. But the human ships and their allies moved with incredible speed, dodging most attacks while their advanced shields absorbed the rest. Now, ordered Taeyeon. From behind nearby moons and asteroids, 30 more ships appeared. These weren't human vessels. They were ships from other Deathworld species who had been watching events unfold from hiding. Species who had evolved on planets with crushing gravity, deadly atmospheres, or constant natural disasters, just like humans. This is Admiral Seung-ho of Earth, came a voice over all channels. Welcome to our new friends. Let's show the Vraxians what Deathworlders can do together. The new ships joined the battle with technologies the Vraxians had never seen. Some fired weapons that passed right through Vraxian shields. Others released clouds of tiny robots that attached to enemy ships and shut down their systems. On the Vraxian command ship, panic spread as reports came in from all sectors. Our right flank is collapsing. Unknown energy weapons cutting through our largest ships. Who are these new enemies? The war leader roared in anger. Focus all fire on the human ships, kill their leader. 300 Vraxian ships turned toward Earth's fury, planning to overwhelm it with sheer numbers. Taeyeon watched them come with a steady gaze. They took the bait, she said quietly. Signal the Kirin ships. From the darkness of space, 10 massive ships suddenly dropped their cloaking shields. The Kirins were silicon-based lifeforms from a world with twice Earth's gravity and constant meteor showers. Their ships were moving fortresses that could take incredible damage. The Kirin ships positioned themselves between the Vraxians and Earth's fury. Then they activated their secret weapon, gravity generators that created a crushing force field around them. Vraxian ships that came too close were suddenly dragged toward the Kirin vessels, their crews pinned to the floor by forces similar to a Deathworld's natural gravity. All ships, attack pattern Delta, ordered Taeyeon. Target their command vessels. The battle turned into a masterclass of strategy and coordination. The Shield Alliance used the unique strengths of each species. Ellerin ships with their advanced sensors identified Vraxian weaknesses. Human vessels struck with precision and power. Other Deathworlders brought their own special abilities to the fight. On his flagship, the Vraxian war leader watched in horror as his mighty fleet fell apart around him. Ship after ship went dark or retreated. His officers begged him to withdraw. Never, he roared. I will destroy these humans myself. He ordered his ship to ram Earth's fury directly. His vessel, 5 times the size of Taeyeon's ship, accelerated toward the human command ship. Collision course detected, reported Jin-ho at the controls. They're trying to ram us. Let them come, said Taeyeon with surprising calm. Get ready, Suho. As the massive Vraxian ship closed in, Earth's fury suddenly released a cloud of special particles developed by human scientists. When the Vraxian ship hit this cloud, its engines sputtered and died. The giant vessel drifted helplessly in space. Their ship is disabled, said Do-hyun. Should we finish them? No, said Taeyeon firmly. Open a channel. The Vraxian war leader appeared on screen again, his face now filled with fear rather than confidence. Listen carefully, said Taeyeon. The Shield Alliance doesn't want to destroy you, we want peace. But peace means respecting all species, not just the strong ones. You have a choice now. Join us in building a better galaxy, or remain isolated and alone. Hours later, as disabled Vraxian ships were being towed away and wounded from all sides, received medical care, leaders from 20 different worlds gathered on Earth's fury to discuss the future. Today marks a new beginning, said diplomat Minji. For too long, gentle worlds lived in fear while Deathworlders hid in the shadows. Now we stand together, the strong protecting the vulnerable. The Vraxian deputy leader, who had replaced the war leader after the battle, spoke with humility. We have much to learn about true strength. The Vraxian Empire asks to join your alliance as students, not conquerors. As the meeting continued, Taeyeon stood at a viewing window, watching the stars. She thought about how a single distress call had changed everything. One small act of kindness had awakened something powerful, not the wrath of Deathworlders, but their protective instinct. The galaxy would never be the same. And somewhere out there, on countless harsh worlds, other Deathworld species were looking to the stars with new hope, ready to join their cousins in a universe where strength meant protection, not dominance. It had begun with a single SOS. It would continue with countless new friendships across the stars.